Hi, Internet viewers. This is Frank Rauscher again. We have on the finch, on the wings, we lifted the feathers. We burned them in as far as the outline of them, and then we lifted them. And today, what we're going to do is I'm going to extend the feathers down to the end. This is the wing. These are the primaries. And I'm going to do the other side as well. So let me bring the camera down and I'll show you how I'll put that in, and then we'll proceed on. Okay? So hang on 1 minute. Okay. Now, we had this pencil line coming down here and here. It came into like a V, and I had you go like 1/4 of an inch. Well, it was 5/16, I believe, and then 1/4 and 1/4 and 1/4 and one more quarter. And that's how we got to this point. And we had drawn these lines in that converge across. These are the wing feathers crisscrossing. This side is on top of this side. So I went ahead and drew some of this, but I'm going to go over this with you so you know exactly what I did. So what I'm going to do is I measured down from this last, we have this grouping of 1, 2, 3, and then the rest go down. From this point down, I measure 5/16, put a dot. Then we have that pencil line coming down. It actually stopped here, but I'm just continuing it a little bit more. And in the middle here, I'm going to draw, I should say, from here down, I got 5/16. So I'm going to start my feather almost in the middle of the second one going down. So I'll start here, and I'm spinning this way. If you notice the angle, it's coming this way. And I start this way, and at the 5/16 mark, I turn, and then I meet up with that line we had created before. Then I'm going to come back about 1/4 of an inch and put a dot, and I'm going to come off of that line that we drew again, that was here, and come around. And then I'm going to go out a little further and pull this around to there. And that gives me number 2. Now, number 3, let me just check it. I'm going to say 1/4 of an inch, but I don't believe it is. It's 1/8 of an inch, excuse me. So we got 5/16, we got 1/4, now we got 1/8. So from this one, I'm going to come down here 1/8 of an inch and put a dot. Then I'm going to arc this around. Remember, this line, this arc line is coming down like this, okay? It's like bending slightly, ever so slightly. So I piggyback, I'm 1/8 off of this one, and I come right around and piggyback off of that, and then I go this way. And you want to keep this in tight here, not too tight, but it's a little less than 1/8 of an inch. It's probably like a little more than 1/16. And then as I come down this way, I get a little wider. So you're thinner up here and you're wider down here. So I draw that in, and I spin this around, and I piggyback off of that one. Then I come, and this is about a little less than 1/8. I come around here. I keep it close in here, and I widen down here. So I'm about maybe 1/8 of an inch apart here, but up here it gets a little tighter. And that's what happens. This is a narrowing to pull it in. Then get that one in. Then we come down again, and we're a little more than the 16th again. We come over, and we go out wide, but we keep it thin right in this area here. So you're really tight in this area, and then you spin around. Then we do another 16th, and we piggyback right into that one. We turn this around, keep it in tight with this grouping here, and then as you go down, we're going to go all the way out to here. So you can see they get wider as they go down. And then we have the last one, which is another 16th down. It gets right to the edge, and we keep that in tight. And this flows right on down to our wing edge here, right there. This is that one we created. That's coming right on down and meets up with that. So there is our feather layout for the primaries. Now, I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, but I'm going to fall short. Like normally when I showed you how to put these in, I just drew a perpendicular line across this one to this one, and then this one, and then this one. And the spacing out was where you started your, that was your tangent point, that perpendicular line. But in this case, because this is pulling in this way and this is pulling in that way, I look at where this one's located, and I'm going to guesstimate and come up a little bit shorter than that one and say right there. I'm going to keep the same configuration. So I'm going to come off of here. And this is that line we already put in a while back, our action line, I'll call it. And this here is a little shorter than this one. So I'm going to spin around here like this. Keep the same width over here. And it shoots out this way, okay? So that's something you want to do. And you want to keep it about the same width. So I'm going to come around, and I'm going to go like that. So that'll match up to that one. Then this one, I'm going to, again, fall a little short on the overall. And I'm going to spin this one right here. And then we're going to come around. And as I go by here, I'm going to be thinner, but I'm going wider as I go down. So, but we're all heading in this direction. That's 2. Then 3 here is going to be partly under 3 on this side. So I'm going to come up short of this end point here and start here and come out as if like the feather's under there. And I'm keeping, well, let me just clean that up. I'm making more lines than I can count. I'm going to start here. I'm going to spin out. I'm keeping this distance close. And then I'm getting wider as I come down. So you have that. Now, for this one, I'm starting right here. It's about a 16th back from that one, but it's now going under these. So I'm really just pulling out. And then it keeps tight in here, and it gets wider down here. So I pull this back up. Now for the next one, I'm going to start right here, about a 16th from that one, and just pull out. Keep it tight in here, but then it goes all the way out to here. Okay, I could actually went lower, but I'm going to just stop it right there. Take a little license. Then this one, I'm going to push this one out. I'm going to come back here and I'm going to get a little wider down in here. I'm going to split this difference. I'm going to have a distance here, and then as I come up, I'm going to keep this row tight in here and then flare out. Boy, I'm going all over the place. I don't know if you can see this well. Let me just heavy up this other one right into there. And then this comes floating down to here. Hope you could see this. I tend to get myself comfortable and forget you guys are viewing this. And then on the last one, which just about tucks in here, this will flow out and meet the last edge of the wing. Okay. Now what happens in here is usually heavy. It's like a big roll, and you have more material a lot right in this area here and in here. So what you may want to do is come in with a pair and take some of this down, because I could see this is like a big rollover, and I even have more material. I got to get this material down and this material down. So let me do this. I'm going to come in with the pair, even though I did all this pencil work. Not that I'm going to lose it all. I'm going to come in, and it's an area right in here. If you didn't get it down far enough, and you don't want to go too far down, because you got to give the illusion that this is on top and this is on the bottom. So to start, we got to work this side first. So I'm going to come in and just, not trying to lose everything, because it seems like a lot of work we did, but I'm going to bring this down, and at the same time I'm trying to transition. So I did that on the one side first, okay? And I'm just noticing I got too much of a lift in there. So I'm going to come back, and here we go again. I got this one here. Put that one in. Then I have another one right about here. This was 1/4 of an inch down. And I'm pulling this in tight. This gets tight here, but it gets widened as it goes down. Then I have another one that's right here, and that comes around. And then as I come around, I keep this close, and then it flares out. Okay. And then I'm going to go to the next one, which is right here. And I'll pull this up, keep it in tight to here, and then flare that around. Then we do one more. And we'll pick up this one and slide that right into there. And then we got the last one right here on the end. And that comes in tight here. And what I mean by tight, it's keeping a tighter distance, but it gets wider as it goes back. So you want to do that on this side here too. The other thing I want you to do is to burn these in, just like we did these. And then I'm going to show you on the next video how to relieve these. And then what we're going to do, it'll be similar to what we did here. And then I'm going to show you how to mark them all out, okay, or with the burning pen. So hope you got something out of this one, and I didn't screw you up. I know this area in here, if you could take it down a little bit more, it's an action right in here and in here. It's still a little heavy, but I'm going to stop at that point. And what I mean is, I don't know if you can see it. There's a lift here, but we have a tendency to roll it locally here, but not all the way up to the middle here. So taking this down, this still seems high here. And I know we're going to take a lot off on here, as you'll see later. But if you can bring that down, but you can't bring it all the way down, because I'm going to show you on another one I've done, you need to have enough lift here that this grouping here looks like it's on top of this one, and that's the illusion. At the same time, we got to open this up under here so that we can get these feathers to look like they're laying on top of the tail. So bear with me, and we'll see you on the next video. And if you could burn these in, and you do the side first, I would recommend, then this, and then on the next video, we'll lift these, or if you want to, you can get started just like we did these. It's the same thing. If you look at the video for this one, you could do the same thing down here, but I'll do some of it for you, and then also show you how to burn it on the next video. So I hope you got something out of this one, and if you did, definitely give me a thumbs up. And if you could subscribe to my channel, that would greatly help me out too. So see you on the next video. And if you ever need any of the items I'm using here, I use a basswood blank, and I recommend basswood to start. If you're getting into carving for the first time, don't use pine. You can use it, but when you try to do a finished product that has tars in it and things like that, and it leaches out, where with basswood, it's a tight grain, and it really holds up well. When you paint it, you got basically a finished product. We're going to seal it anyway, but with pine, you can seal things, paint it, and it still leaches out and stuff like that. So that isn't the most ideal wood. Most people have the advantage of getting pine easy or something like that, and it's better to use basswood. That's what I recommend. But there's Tupelo out there, which is what a lot of the professionals use, and I tend to teach with basswood because it's a more forgiving wood. At least I like it a lot. It's you can carve it with a knife, you can do power work with it, and it holds up. And where with Tupelo, it's strictly power wood. Okay, so see you on the next video, and like I said, if you can subscribe, that'd be great. Thank you very much, and see you on the next one.